Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Limited Lorcana. This is episode 3. Today, we're going to be doing another draft. Our first episode, we did a sealed of Rise of the Floodborn, so I think we're going to skip that one. We're going to do Into the Inklands for a draft, and we'll work our way back eventually and do Rise of the Floodborn as well as an Ursula's Return. But let's get started with Into the Inklands. This is the first set where locations came out, and there are definitely some very, very good locations. So we have a super rare Little John. I actually didn't know what this card did. Doesn't see a lot of play. Akita. Akita's great for 2. It just has the stats you want, 2, 3, and Bodyguard. Bodyguard can be super relevant in this. We have a Baloo. Baloo's not bad, but I definitely wouldn't take him first pick just because being able to contest what your opponent has on the board, especially on turn 3 or 4, is pretty valuable. Having a character that can't contest at all can be really bad. Wildcat's an interesting pickup too. He's a 2/3 evasive. Okay, Montanui. Montanui's not a bad one in draft or sealed either. Sir Hiss is a good evasive as well. He can take out most other evasives. I think we're actually going to start with a Little John or Kita. I'm trying to remember what all the 6 drops and stuff are in this set. But a 4/5 buffs your other bodyguard characters isn't bad. His shift isn't very likely though. Joshua Sweet's also a pretty good bodyguard. I think I think we are gonna take a little. Mm, no, because they have Firebird in this set. I think Firebird's like a 2 or 3 drop 5/1. Yeah, I think we're gonna take Akita actually. This is a nice low drop card. Bodyguard's pretty nice. Ursula, Neverland. We got a Baboom. Baboom's most likely what I'm gonna take. Bare necessities. The only like worry is bare necessities actually hits a decent amount. Like there is like actions, locations. There's like a lot that you can get. Ursula, you're just not that likely to hit a song in this. In constructed, obviously, she's fantastic, but her stats really aren't priced to be like a brawly 2 drop at all like Kita. So most likely going to go Baboom. I could also see myself taking a King Louie, just having a nice high drop character. Billy Bones is another good drop, a good high cost character. But Neverland could also be just a good 1 drop to kind of put a little bit of pressure on my opponent early, make them deal with my location. And with locations, you can almost see them as a way of forcing your opponent to exert his characters to take care of them, and then allowing you to make good trades. And if they can't make good trades and they leave your location, then it's just a way to win the game through attrition. But I think we're gonna take Baboom. Just it's an inkable, it's location and character removal, which is actually pretty good. I like this Jafar a lot for 3. Dalmatian Puppy's a good price as well. Razul's definitely not bad. Webby Vanderclock Quick is just that 3 drop, 3/4 does pretty good for its stats. Forbidden Mountain's an okay location. A 2 drop, 1/6 definitely isn't bad, but we are a little high on 2 drops right now. So I'm a little more inclined to take either this Jafar or this Webby. We really don't have any card that like speaks to me that like we need to find. So going through our deck is good, but it's not as powerful. So and we do have Nani too. It's 3/6 bodyguard quest for 2, which is pretty good. Um, truth be told, Cloud Kicker can be difficult for opponents to deal with, but he doesn't have a lot of strength. Um, maybe we should have gone Prince John. Or not Prince John, Little John. There's a lot of bodyguards in this set. So, um, I think I'm going to take a Webby. Even though I do think Forbidden Mountain could be a pick, and Nani's also very good. Maybe I do just take the Nani. I don't know. Yeah, she's an uncommon. We'll probably get more Webbies later. So we'll take the Nani now. This is the Firebird I was talking about. So I was wrong about the cost. It's a 4-drop and it's a 6/2, not a 5/1, but pretty strong. So that's a tough character to deal with. We're most likely going to take Starkey. This location isn't that great. Rolly is actually a really good 3-drop. That support actually comes into play so much in this, especially if you have an opponent who has a lot of locations. Being able to make it so you're still questing and taking out locations at the same time is actually really valuable. But we don't have any high drop characters. We are granted only 3 picks in. I guess we have Nani. Actually, we're going to take Rolly here. It gives us a 3-drop. We got a Sir Hiss, Magic Dispel, Wrench. Not too many cards we actually really want. Um, Lithos has Resist. It's an interesting effect. There's also the, I think his name is Stratos, evasive one that quests for additional, or you can exert him to get lore based off how many Titans you have. I think we're just going to take a Snoops here and be happy enough with that. Could also take a Sir Hiss though. I think we'll get more Sir Hisses. We'll take a Snoops just to have another high cost card in case we need it. Smee, there's just McDuck Manor though too. Oh, that's a tough one. Smee is just an amazing 2-drop. Even if you don't have a captain, he's just so good. A 3/3 quest for 2 is insane. McDuck Manor is a pretty tough location for your opponent to deal with though. A lot of times if you have a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop character and you go into turn 4 with McDuck Manor and you've been able to control them, you can kind of just blow them out a little bit. I think we are going to take McDuck Manor, but I really would have liked to take the Smee. Wow, same exact pick actually. It's McDuck Manor or Smee. I don't want to have so many locations that I can't fight for the board because locations are much stronger if you have board control, especially in a set where there's not board wipe. So you're more likely to have things last. But I think we're going to take the Smee here, and he's an uncommon. McDuck Manor is a common. We could see more. Um, Here is definitely a card that we're gonna take and most likely cut from our deck or use it as ink. Hmm. Yeah, Starlight's just an inkable. Yeah, we're gonna take Heal What's Been Hurt. It's an inkable card when it comes down to it. The lamp, if we had Jafar's, would be really good. We did have a Jafar option. Think we actually take Montanui here. It's inkable, location with a meaningful effect. Probably stuck here with Ursa, truth be told. But I guess Scroop is a 5/5 when he has no damage on him. Hmm. Yeah. I'm just not as big of a fan of Scroop. Is he a captain or anything meaningful for text? No. I think we're going to take this Ursula. No, we have plenty of 2-drops. We're gonna take a Scroop. Most likely not run him. Kick Cloud Kicker. Voltor is not bad. It gives your locations, and I think it's your locations resist and your characters there, but that's not something we're too interested in. What are your characters' quests? You may look at the top of your deck. Yeah, I mean, it's an equal item. The effect doesn't seem awful. So most likely cutting Scroop. Have a couple of high drops. If we get a low drop kit, that shift could be okay. Probably cutting this. Masanui is okay. Alright, what do we get? Well, we got a Ursula Deceiver of All, and we got a John Silver. This is a really tough pick for draft because, truthfully, Ursa's just worth so much more money. I'd probably take Ursula every time, even if I don't have any songs to play. I think we have one song that's a 3-drop. Yeah, Heal What's Been Hurt. There is Strike a Good Match in this set, which is draw 2, discard 1, and that's pretty good for Ursa. John Silver is so good in this set for draft, though. in sealed. Having locations is so valuable. That resistant quest can make such a big difference. Having another McDuck Manor offer is really nice too, but I think if I'm being realistic, if I want to win the draft, John Silver's more likely the pick, but I'm gonna definitely take the card that I would take in person to be realistic because this is just worth actual money. So we definitely have to be on the look for songs too. There's the Cloud Kicker I was talking about with being able to shift. Have another little, or not another, but we have a Little John. We hit bosses on a roll though. Look at top 5 cards, putting them around the top, bottom in any order in game 1 lore. Double singing, that's not bad. It has ink too. 1-drops though. Yeah, we definitely want one of these 1-drops, I think. Milo, Robin, Pluto, or Kit. Think I'm more inclined to take the Brawly one, the Robin Hood. But Pluto's pretty good. Allowing you to get a turn faster is pretty good, especially meaning like we could Pluto on 1, Ursula on 2, and then turn 3 sing a song. But I think we're gonna take the actually bosses on rolls are rare, which means we're less likely to see more of these. I think we're gonna take it. And if we don't see any other songs, that's fine. Pua is a really good card. I've always been really impressed with how well this performs, surprisingly. Just a 2-drop 2/2 that quests and when it's banished, you shuffle it back into your deck. I don't know why. It just always feels like it does so good. Um, it's just a 2-drop quester, and a lot of times I feel like it's able to quest for multiple times. Gonna take Eeyore though. Gives us a high drop, and the resist one is so good with a 4/5. What we got here? Friar Tuck might be something we're interested in. This character, he's a 2-quester too, and he's inkable. We also have this where he chooses characters they can't quest for a certain gain lore equal to that location's. I mean, I think this is a little bit of fantasy land, but having Ursula sing "I've Got a Dream" on somebody on McDuck Manor is 4 lore. So it's actually not too bad. I think we're gonna take Friar Tuck. I don't think we have a lot of 4-drops. Yeah, we have a McDuck Manor. We're gonna take a Friar Tuck. But Boom's also, again, just a really good card too. Smee was definitely the pick here. Jolly Roger could be alright if you had enough pirates that it was meaningful, but funny enough, Smee is a pirate. But yeah, we're gonna take the Smee and be happy with that. I definitely think we're taking Baboom here, and it's alright. Don't have Jafar's. Stitch is just a good rush. Cusco's Palace is a little too expensive to move your characters to. So it could be a way to deal with evasive. Actually, I think we're gonna take Doing. He's just a support, and like I've said, support's really good in the set for helping you take out locations. Well, I don't like as much this 3-drop 2/4, no effect. Even if it quests for 2. I think we're gonna take I've Got a Dream. This card's actually a lot more narrow. We have to have a location. I think right now we only have 2, Montanui and McDuck. So I want this to work with the Ursula, but I don't think it's worth reducing the quality of our deck. So we're probably taking Maui, Hydrus, or Nala. Maui's great for taking out locations, but he has to challenge every turn, which, if your opponent's smart, can actually be a pretty big downside in this. I think we're going to take a Hydrus. Has a nice effect. I don't really want any of these. Kit Cloud Kicker, my only thing is like we have some support, so it's alright, but I don't want to have so many kits that I'm too busy playing them that I'm not able to establish other stuff. I think we're gonna take a Magic at a spell. I'm the most likely to play her. Pluto came back. And Sumerian Talisman's also a really, really good one. The only problem is if the game stalls out and you get no value because your opponent doesn't challenge at all and you don't have enough locations to force them, it can be a little bit of a bummer. So we're going to take Pluto. He's good one drop. I guess we're going to take Montanui Part 2. We could take Airfoil. We do have the Ursula, but again, I think it's a little bit too fantasy land. And we're stuck with a Prince John, which is not the worst. All right, going into pack 3. Probably going to pick up a little bit of speed, not talk about everything. Smee's great. I honestly would take almost as many Smees as physically possible, but Don Carnage, being a 4/4 evasive, is just too valuable. Gives us a way to deal with other evasives, and he also has evasive quest for 2. So we're going to take him. Hopefully the Smee wheels in that pack, but if it doesn't, we're not at the end of the world. Another Baloo. Could take the Balloon, but Miss Bianca, think we're gonna take. Oh, I should have checked how many 3-drops we had. Dewey, yeah, I think we're gonna take a Webby here. Could also take the Helga. Hmm. And I think we're gonna take the Webby. Said we're gonna speed up and then spend my time talking. This is exactly the card we are looking for Ursula. Strike a good match is great. We're going to take that. Eeyore, hopefully wheels. Rise Titans can be an okay one to just have one in your deck. It's Ink if nothing else. Deville Manor, Snarky. We're just going to take a Snarky. Or I guess there's no reason to take Starkey. King Louis is the exact same card, but one more strength and toughness. So yeah, we'll take the King Louis. Minnie Mouse can be really good too if you have enough locations, but ooh, okay. Yeah, we're just gonna take Don Carnage though. We have one. We've been responsible. I think we're gonna take the second McDuck. Pluto's not a very combat-y one drop, which is the only worry. Is like he's an uninkable, and he doesn't lend us to having locations. Because the problem with Pluto is if you spend your first turn to establish him, and then you play a 3-drop, and your 3-drop's also not very combat oriented. So like let's say we Pluto on 1, turn 2 Ursula, and we play like McDuck Manor when we get there, we just don't have a lot of stuff to contest the board. Where I'm gonna take a Jim Hawkins here for the 3/2 stat line. Gonna take a Kita to have another 1-drop. Friar Tuck also would be fine there. I think we're gonna take a Rise. Nani's good though. It's 2-quester. Did I ever end up taking that Stitch? I didn't take the Stitch earlier. How many unequals do we have that we're gonna play? We're so good on uninkables. Yeah, we can just take the Stitch. Stitch, especially with having some support like Rolly and I think it's Dewey, just help make Stitch be able to run into some and take it out, which is pretty valuable. I don't really want to run any of these. I don't even really like this group that I have in my deck earlier. I think we're gonna tank an Olympus would be that way and most likely cut it or ink it. I guess we're gonna take Map of Treasure Planet. Again, just doesn't look like something we're really too interested in playing. I think I still needed a Rise, right? Yep. So we'll take the Rise. More than happy with that. Odie. Mom Odie is actually a really good card. Being able to move 2 damage if you're very good at math, you can actually change like a lot of stalemate positions as long as you're able to like get some damage and take out something, or even helps you with evasives and allowing you to trade up in a situation where they didn't think you could. Pack 4. Whoa! We opened another legendary. We opened a Robin Hood, which we will definitely be taking this Robin Hood. He's just great, especially in this format. Hopefully we see some 1-drop Robin Hoods. Puts a little bit of extra oomph on getting them. Rolly's also good, so hopefully we roll. Hopefully we wheel a Rolly, Billy Bones, Kita, Queen's even fine, or like Rafiki could be okay, but I'd probably rather this Rolly or Queen come back. They're just really good stats. So we're gonna take this Robin Hood and be very happy though. Okay, friend like me. No, thank you. Do have a kit we could have for the kit Cloud Kicker, but same issue with the Pluto is just doesn't have any combat early. Chief to be 3/4 that quest. I think we're gonna take the Sirhis. We got here. Neverland, Forbidden Mountain, DeVille Manor, Nottingham. This is the same thing as Forbidden Mountain, but I'll take the Nottingham because we got the Robin Hood, so it's more theme. And I guess we might take another one. Probably should take the Nani though. We'll take a Nani. Bodyguard doesn't protect your locations is a notable thing. We're gonna take this Queen. It's a good 3-drop with a 4/3 stat line. Helps with the aggressiveness of this. Wow. Strike Good Match and Pride Lands are great, but we're gonna take Strike Good Match. It gives us another way to draw, and also synergizes so well with our Ursula. Hey Hey is also pretty good though, but we're gonna take Strike Good Match. And Agrabah is not a bad location either. It's definitely not slacking. We're gonna take another Jim Hawkins and take a Starkey to have another big character. Rolly, great wheel. Don't really want to play any of these, but I think we'll take Last Ditch Effort because Last Ditch Effort is not unreasonable to play. Take Captain Hook's Rapier. Take Sorcerer's Tower. Ooh, there's actually quite a few cards I want to cut, so we're gonna have to see how much of it we can actually cut because we don't really want this. We're gonna keep both of those. Definitely don't want the Sorcerer's Tower in here. I really don't even want the Montanuis, but I might have to keep one. But boom, Last Ditch Effort. Olympus we don't want. Rise is fine to have one in. Don't really want any of these items. Yeah, cutting one character. That's a little rough, but it's probably going to be this Prince John. Oh, I have this group too. I think this group's better than the Prince John. Yeah, well, we're not making too many cuts. That's what we've got. So let's get started. We don't want to keep both of these Strike a Good Matches. We'll probably keep one. Don't know if there's too many things that I need to boom early that I'm worried about it. And I think we're going to send Webby back. Yeah, I think we're just going to keep a Strike Good Match. Hopefully get a Pluto Ursa would be pretty good. We got a Ursa, which I can't be mad about because we have the card to go with it. We got to make Duck Manor. Our hand's pretty slow, so we're actually going to ink the Friar Tuck because we're not very likely to actually get the effective trigger because we're most likely going to be inking playing one card a turn. Wow, well, the Ursula did hit us and get a pretty good pick. They got the Strike a Good Match, which honestly kind of leads me to just get rid of this Ursula. And we're going to play the Kita. We're not going to bodyguard her. We're going to pass. The next turn we can set up the Dewey and be able to support to make Kita take out most things. Simba! That is a high questing card, so they're definitely putting us on a little bit of a clock. And of course, get the other Strike a Good Match, which, I mean, isn't a bad card, man. We can definitely still play it, but I think we're going to ink. Definitely seems like their deck's a little bit lower to the ground, but yeah, I think we are going to ink the King Louis and play this Dewey. That rhymed. And we're going to go ahead and pass here. I guess there's an argument to be said about singing, but if they have like a Stitch thing that can come down and slam into Kita, wouldn't really be too happy with that. So I really want this Kita to be able to take out Ursula and even Simba potentially. So this turn, I think we're most likely going to be doing Strike a Good Match and something else. Don't think we really want to establish this McDuck Manor right now. They just have a lot more characters than us. We are going to go ahead and have Dewey take this Simba out. And then we are going to challenge this Ursa because Louis can take out Kita anyway. And if he supports Ursa, I'd rather him have to actually trade the Ursula out too. And we seem like we're in a little bit of a brawly situation. I think I am going to ink this McDuck Manor and play both of my 2-drops just to kind of help me fight back on the board. Going to 7, gave the support, and he plays Scroop. And yeah, he's going to take out the Kita like I mentioned with the Ursula. Which isn't bad for us because Dewey can now quest, and I can have him give the support to Sir Hiss. And I can have Sir Hiss take out this Louis. And then I'm going to save the Jim Hawkins to swing into this group after. Actually, I guess it didn't matter. They have about the same health, so. And we're going. Actually, if he's going to take out Dewey anyway, I don't think I'm worried about Jim Hawkins being exerted. So I'm actually going to have Jim sing this. Most likely discard this Pluto. And we're going to play a Rolly. And that way, whatever he takes out, I can support and have the other card take it out. So if he takes out Jim Hawkins, I can just have Rolly support Dewey and take out Scroop. We're actually not going to ink here because we are a little short on cards in hand. So well, he took out the Dewey, so we'll just go ahead and take Scroop out. Oh, I misread Scroop. Scroop is while he has damage, not while he has no damage. Well, that is a little different. We're just going to play something that we can support next turn to take it out. Might actually ink this gem and play this Nani because I can support Nani and have her take out Patch. And she'll still stick around. What do we get? Got a kit, which isn't actually bad. I quest this Rolly, support the Nani like I mentioned, have Nani take out this Patch. And we're not under too much pressure, so we are actually going to just play this me instead of inking. And then hopefully next turn we get something we can ink that we're not too worried about. Well, don't think we'll be inking that. It's just a little bit of a weird position because I can support Smee and have Smee take out Little John, but the 1 damage he'll take at the end will take him out. I don't have any captains, so don't think I really want to do that. I think I'm actually gonna play the Eeyore, and then the next turn I can have Eeyore take it out, or if something happens again, I can still support. Yeah, and we'll pass there. Magic Carpet. One thing I will say about playing the AI that kind of gets you in a bad habit is a lot of times they'll quest or attack, and in person they're less likely to just quest out if it doesn't benefit them, and you have much more stalematey kind of games. So the AI's aggressiveness is definitely not to its benefit. So she's whenever she quests, but we want to establish something on this turn, so we'll ink this kit, play the Mama Odie. We're going to have Eeyore take out this Little John. It only takes 1 damage because he has resist. And we're just going to quest. And if he wants to hit something with Magic Carpet, I'm definitely not too worried about that. So, I'm assuming it's me he will hit. Nope. And just pass back to me. It's a little bit of a mistake. I don't know why he didn't swing into the Smee, because now I can just quest Mama Odie, move the damage from Smee, and take out the carpet. quest, and now we're just gonna start racing him a little bit. And next turn we go up to 4, 5, 6 if everything lives. So I actually really don't need to play this queen, but I'll play it just because, like I said, there's not any board control that I'm worried about. Webby Vanderclock, huh? Yeah, we're pretty much just in the spot where we're just gonna quest until we win. We can't fight Webby anyway. If we could, I would probably take it out with Eeyore just because Eeyore only quests for 1 anyway. But if Eeyore quested for 2 and this Webby was exerted, I'd still rather get the 2 lore off of the Eeyore so that I can have the game on the following turn. And we'll play this early, but we don't even really need to. Yep, Orville. So that is that. That Ursa stealing the strike a good match was actually pretty nasty. Kind of left us really low in our hand because we kind of kept a hand that was built around us being able to do that. But go ahead and quest for game. Repair in hand. Yeah, this is one of those cards that just you're not that likely to really get much value out of it. It doesn't replace itself either. So if you spend the turn repairing a character to take out another character, it can be okay, but it's still just you're not establishing a body, you're not making momentum, you're not playing for tempo. It kind of feels like a little bit of a concession. So we're gonna go into game 2. We got the Strike a Good Ursula match again, so we'll most likely be keeping that. I'm gonna get rid of all this. I don't want a bunch of 3-drops with this Ursula. Pluto is definitely something we would be looking for, or any of our 1-drops. Well, this is okay. We're gonna ink a Webby. I actually think the Queen's a little bit better stat line. The 4-3 over the 3-4 in this set helps a lot more with locations. Well, played a Zazu. Gonna ink this Rise. Play Kita. Not gonna exert her. We'll pass. Even though Zazu technically doesn't take out Kita, there's no reason to put our character in any kind of danger. They are flooding the board again this game, which seems to be what the AI really likes to do in this. I would love to see if there was a way to tweak the AI's behavior some, just so that we didn't always make them kind of YOLO quest every time. But some people play like it, so it's not the worst practice. But we're going to ink this queen so we can play the Ursa and set up for the double sing next turn. He could have played a location there and moved Minnie Mouse to it. Oh, he is. And now he's going to take out Kita. I spoke just a little too soon somehow. Let's see. I do think I kind of want to clear his board. Even if it means Ursula dies to a Baboom. I'm gonna have, or sorry, gets banished to a Baboom. Take out Minnie Mouse with the Stitch. And I'm gonna take out the Zazu. And we are actually gonna ink this McDuck Manor. I'm actually debating on just playing Strike a Good Match now, because it's not unlikely that he babooms, and we don't really need to get that much value out of it in this game. Yeah, so to kind of go a little bit more in it, like, yes, Strike a Good Match with Ursa is really strong, but most of their deck's been pretty low. They're at 4 lore, they have a location established. We have a Robin Hood coming up, which is just really good value. 3/6, gaining the lore when banishing, and even potentially drawing us a card later. He's just so much value that I don't think we need to get even more value with Ursula. And the next turn, if he babooms Ursula, we're not like, oh man, I wish we hadn't waited. So discard this last stitch, and we'll pass. This wasn't the best to get a 1 and a 2, but oh, McDuck Manor. Yikes. the gas is definitely going. So I think we're going to ink this Motunui. What is going to be our best way of taking out these cards? So I think it is going to be Kita and Jim Hawkins just to establish more bodies that can swing. And 2, 4, 7, 9. So the following turn I could hit for the additional 7. We're going to hit McDuck Manor then. If he has a Stitch Rocket, that would hurt a little bit. Nah, Firebird. We're not too worried about that. We're going to challenge this McDuck Manor with everything and take it out. And anything he swings into here, it's going to banish his Firebird, so he's most likely just going to quest it. We're going to play this Robin Hood. I'm not going to ink Starkey yet, just because he's a late game card. We're in the late game. We're not really gaining too much by not. Oh, wow. Yeah, Distract's actually a pretty good card in this. It replaces itself, and -2 is actually pretty reasonable. So, wow. This is actually a little bit of a rough situation. I'm just going to take out the Firebird, because I don't really want him to take out Robin Hood right away. We're going to swing into this mountain, and we're going to play the Smee to establish him. A 3/3 body helps us take out the mountain, and also helps us with Dalmatian Puppy. Because if he quests this, I can take it out with Robin Hood, gain the lore, and then Smee can take the mountain. Another -2 strength. But he didn't swing into Robin Hood with it, which, I mean, makes sense why he wouldn't, but... So we're going to use Robin Hood's effect, gain 2 lore, and we're going to have Smee take out this mountain. And we're just going to play this EUR. I think we might actually quest here. Probably shouldn't, though. I mean, I guess he could take out... Yeah, we are going to quest here. Because if he takes out Robin Hood, I draw the card anyway. If he takes out Ursa, Robin Hood could just finish it off, and I can get the card in the ink, or in the lore next turn. And if he just quests, then I take it out with the EUR. Yeah. Kind of what I figured was going to happen. It's actually a pretty good draw. We're going to ink this Friar Tuck. Play this Baboom. Take that out, and... Don't think we've inked another Strike a good match, and we do have bosses on a roll. So I'm actually going to quest with Smee and Eeyore. They both can take out Nutsy, but I'm not going to quest with the Ursula. Oh, got to steal a song. We didn't have a song in our hands, just Starkey. Now if we draw something cheap, we can ink and play Starkey, but we drew Don Carnage, which, I mean, we're more than happy to play. Gonna have this Smee take out the Nutsy. Could just quest him and have him get sacked, but rather just gain the benefit of keeping Eeyore healthy. We'll pass. He inked a King Louis. So this is something I've noticed even in person a lot of people will do. Yeah, it stinks, having to ink your 7-drop to go to 7 ink. But if I was the AI, I would have waited. I would have stayed at 6 ink, kept a 7-drop in my hand, and then next turn if I get ink, I can ink and play it. And worst case, I'm not really gaining anything by establishing the 7 now. I'm possibly getting around discard, but there's not that much discard in this. There's like Friar Tuck, I think. So if I were the AI, I'd stay at 6 ink, keep King Louis, and then next turn reevaluate, see what I need to do. We're going to ink this Dewey and finally play the Starkey that we've saved for a couple turns. We're going to quest with Don Carnage, and we're going to quest with Ursula. And we're just going to go ahead and use this Eeyore to take out this Ursula. We'll pass. Oh, that is a very good card. But, I mean, even now, next turn, or now he could make the decision, okay, do I want to play the King Louis or do I want to play the Pluto? He didn't have to make that decision when he did. We're actually just going to shut it down altogether, though. We're going to take it out with Don Carnage and Eeyore, because neither of them will be banished. Quest with this Starkey and Ursula, and play the Rolly to help guarantee the game. And pass. Kakamora. Alright. Go ahead and quest for the game. We'll be going into game 3. No, we'll not be doing that. Alright. Game 3, here we go. 1 drop, 3 drop. Yeah, I think we're just going to keep those two. Okay. This isn't bad. I'm not in. Oh yeah, actually that's fine. We can go to Rolly next turn. That's fine enough. We'll play the Pluto. We'll pass. We're going first. If they play a 1-drop, this kind of stinks a little bit. Kind of stinks a little bit. But if they hadn't, well, we'd be able to get Rolly out before they hit a character, and then Rolly could support Pluto for us to trade him out. And now we've gotten value from him letting us play a card early, and we've got value from him being used for a banish. But fortunately, it was not meant to be. We're gonna ink this Hydros. We already have another 3-drop. And he's not very statted for this game, so take a Jim Hawkins and we'll pass. Goes to 5. And Neverland, okay? I'm not too worried about this Neverland. What are we gonna do though? So Pluto can help me play a 4-drop this turn. Don't have a 4-drop. If we are 3 ink now and going to 4, he could help us play Rolly and Baboom. Fortunately, we're not quite at that position, but I think we're just gonna play the Baboom, hit this Milo, have this Jim swing into Neverland, getting this Nottingham, and pass. Well, no, we really don't want to lose this Pluto because next turn he can help us get one of these 5-drops out. And if we quest him now and he plays a Stitch Rocket, he can take out Pluto, and we're just not really in a great spot to deal with any of his stuff. Gonna ink one of these. Actually, do we ink one of the Nonnies or do we ink the Rolly? Might be ink the Rolly, actually. So how are we going to deal with these banishes? It's just a 5. We're going to swing 3 into Neverland. And then, yeah, okay. We're going to ink a Nani. We're going to quest this Pluto, and we're going to play Nani. Oh, well, that was a big mistake. It's actually exerting, not questing with Pluto. So, challenge. But my thought process there was that we were going to exert Pluto, play the Nani and his bodyguard. She protects the Jim Hawkins, and then next turn we can take out the Agrabah with both of them. But this still works. Rolly can support Jim, and Jim can take out Agrabah on his own, or we can support and have Pluto swing into it. 2 more locations. So this is the problem when you play a lot of locations in your deck and not enough characters. You just can't compete. You just fall behind so quick as soon as these locations are gone. I don't know why I did that instead of questing Rolly, but it's too late. Don't think it'll make a difference either, though. And we're going to use Pluto's ability and play this Nani bodyguarded. She'll help protect our Rolly and Jim Hawkins. Okay, Ursula 3/3/3. Not the worst. We're gonna quest this Rolly. Yep, we're gonna throw support onto Nani. We're gonna have Nani swing into this Tiana's Palace. We're gonna actually have Jim take out this Minnie Mouse just because she's got no strength right now. She wasn't at the location. We're going to um, actually. I think we are just getting this Eeyore. I don't think we need like battle bodies. I think we want the more of the lore side of things. Play this Dawn, and we're gonna quest this Pluto. They can go to 2 next turn, or sorry, not 2. They can go to 12, but we're in a pretty good spot to swing the board back and just kind of quest out. And yeah, this is exactly why I inked the Eeyore to set up for the possibility. Oh, really got targeted by Ursa. Makes sense. So we're gonna use Pluto's ability, and now we can just dump our hand. We're gonna have Nani take out the Ursa, Jim take out this, and quest with Don Carnage. And now pass, and next turn we can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and go to 15. Played a Prince John. Okay, well, we're just gonna go ahead and quest with everyone here. And this should lock up the game. So to take a little bit of the time to talk about some stuff, I currently am doing these drafts and stuff on ink tables, but I have a couple friends in the area that also play, and we've talked about doing drafts in sealeds on Tabletop Simulator. And that will be nice because then I can actually play against other people. You'll be able to hear them. They can talk through their thought processes as well. And we can even interview them after games and stuff like that. So that's kind of my goal with this channel is to be able to do limited Lorcana play, both in person and over the computer. Hopefully, if Ravensburger or Disney make an online client, I'll be able to use that. And being able to play with other people will be a really big boon. Because the games will be a little bit more competitive and you'll be able to see some of the more stalematey metas and some of the sets for limited play, but also doing stuff in person, being able to play with some really great people and being able to hear their feedback as well as seeing what they drafted or what they played and just kind of hearing all that. So, but we got another 3 wins and this deck wasn't too bad. There's definitely a lot of cards that I didn't want in the end. If I could cut another 4 cards, I probably would. But we didn't get to do the bosses on a roller strike, a good match with Ursula. But honestly, we got enough value out of her. Um, just from either being ink or just a 2/3 that threatened the ability, and then playing that Ursa 1/3 was a little bit weak to a lot of our cards that were more combat oriented, like 3/2s and stuff. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like it. And if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave comments. I'm always open for discussion. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.